Hello guys and gals of the internet, it's the Semi Chaos of YouTube, Mixer.com and Twitch TV. OMG, channel update. I know, right? So indeed it is. Channel update for November 21st, 2018. I can barely believe we're near the end of this year already. Oh my goodness. Where has that time gone? It goes quick when you don't notice. But yes, indeed, folks, it is a channel update for today. Now, as you guys know, I don't really do this very often. We've not really had a lot to talk about this year to really warrant one, or even a 7 Chaos previews for that matter, because I haven't really bought any new games, at least right now. Pretty much since the beginning of middle or end of October to around now, I've been pretty much in save mode in terms of money for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That edition, the Ultimate Edition of the game, is going to set me back £90, but it's going to be the best £90 I've ever spent. When you consider I'm getting the game, a GameCube adapter, and the GameCube controller with it. And there'll be an unboxing video when that comes out. So that's going to be rather fun. So yeah, I've been pretty much in save mode in terms of any new games are concerned. I've not really bought any since August, maybe? But yeah, I've not really bought a new game since pretty much probably the summer, because Black Ops 4... where it looks interesting, it's not worth really laying down £60 on when you're saving up for Smash, and it's been pretty much the case with games like 2K and other games I would normally pick up around this time of year. I can't do it because Smash is coming out, and that's my priority. So we've had no 7 Chaos previews because we've had no new games, and we've had no channel update because there's not really much in terms of the channel to talk about until now. Today we're going to cover a postponement, at least, of a project I was doing. We're going to announce some playthrough that will be starting pretty soon, maybe another one, and we'll be announcing the plans for the future of the playthroughs of that type. We'll obviously be talking a little bit about the Smash and what we're going to do with that, and probably my return to streaming because I've not streamed in a long time. And then we're probably going to go into maybe January and February and talk about that a little bit, because there will be a lot of things happening in those 2 months, in particular in the middle of February, where this whole entire setup that you're seeing right now is going to be completely different by the time a day in February is over. So we'll talk about that. So we will start with Project PC. Now, you may have noticed that it had already started with the uploads of Life is Strange Farewell and Life is Strange Before the Storm. I've decided to put that on hold, and I think the main reason is very obvious as to why. After my playthrough of Life is Strange 1 was completed, I took a look at the date, and I took a look at the amount of time it would take to upload that playthrough, or those playthroughs of Before the Storm and Life is Strange 1, and I really just figured that, you know what, I'm probably, I think, to a point, I'll have to put Project PC on hold anyway. Because I, as of right now, don't actually own all the pieces I want to do with Project PC. Now, we're going to go into that a little bit, and I'm going to kind of talk about it a little bit. I'm going to try and keep this short, although with me, you never really know what short is. But basically, what Project PC is a kind of plan that I brainstormed around the time of Telltale Games' unfortunate closure, and which resulted in the loss of a lot of playthroughs that could have been done, or a lot of games that could have been coming out, for example, like The Wolf Among Us Season 2, and in particular, the final season of The Walking Dead. Now, around the time of Telltale's closure, the second episode of the final season of The Walking Dead was out, and through that closure, everything got thrown up in the air. It was announced that The Wolf Among Us and a game that has gone over my head, I think. I can't remember what it was actually called. But another game that Telltale were doing around that time, were cancelled. So basically, The Wolf Among Us Season 2 is never happening now, unless there could be some changes to that. And The Walking Dead season, without the final season, was practically over. It was not really sure it was ever going to continue. In fact, it looked pretty much done. Even if someone else was going to pick it up, many people feared it would never be the same. So it wasn't going to be The Walking Dead as we knew it, in a completely different turn if the next 2 episodes came out. There's been some discussions recently, and just the other day actually, it was announced that Skybound Entertainment have resumed work on the final season of The Walking Dead and those final 2 episodes, 3 and 4. So thank goodness for that, because I think The Walking Dead deserves to be finished with the amount of time we've spent with Clementine and all the people she's met. And I think one way or the other, we need to see how The Walking Dead will finally end. Now, my theory on that is that Clementine will really not make it to the end credits of the game. I think we're going to have a season 1 scenario when it comes to Clementine and how her story will end. I think it's been very subtle with the fact that it's called the final season. Clementine asks AJ what if she gets bit in a trailer, and I think it's very subtle hints that Clementine may not make it to the end of the game. She might not make it to the end credits. So yeah, that's kind of my theory. But I think one way or the other, we deserve to see this end, and Skybound Entertainment have seen that and are going to finish that story. So thank goodness for that. Now, during that uncertain time around before this, I was actually convinced that with the closure of Telltale Games and with the cancellation of The Wolf Among Us 2, what did that mean for The Walking Dead? And I really just thought it was over. Even if someone was to pick up the rights, it wouldn't be the same. And Vash even said this in his playthrough, that we didn't really watch because then we knew that it was going to happen and come back. But it was a real fear that it wasn't going to be the same. So I immediately actually decided to delete the first 3 seasons of The Walking Dead on my YouTube channel before I knew that news. It was before then. But even as I heard that news, I didn't regret removing those playthroughs from the channel. In fact, I actually decided to... This is when I brainstormed Project PC. And I decided to remove all the other Telltale games that I had on my YouTube channel. Now, I didn't regret doing that, because the more I thought about it, the more I actually didn't really like how the playthroughs had turned out from my perspective. Now, that's not the games that are bad, it was the playthroughs and the way most of them were really messed up. Say, The Walking Dead, for example. The first 2 seasons of The Walking Dead were actually done on the Xbox One console. This was during a kind of transition into kind of time for me, trying to figure out what console I should really focus my time on in terms of games and exclusives and things like that. And basically, by the beginning of Season 3, or sometime before it, I moved pretty much E3 on Metal Gear Solid 5 time when that came out. I announced that the PlayStation 4 would now be my console of choice in terms of what games I would cover for them. So basically, Walking Dead, Life is Strange, Call of Duty, any game that was third or first party would be exclusive, not exclusively, but primarily on the Xbox, like the PS4 console. And basically, my PS4 was my console of choice. And I moved Xbox One exclusives over to just covering those, unless of course we get an unusual circumstance, say, I don't know, wanting an F1 season on F1 2015, for example. It's just a thing I'm just throwing out there, something random. And for PC games, I've just focused on the Michael Schumacher years curation of F1 2010 to 13, because there was no other way of doing those yet. They're not on backwards compatibility. The only one that is F1 2014, and that hasn't really changed since. So the PlayStation 4 was going to be all games. Microsoft and Xbox One exclusives were going to be covered on the Xbox side of things, and PC just some random stuff here and there, but primarily was going to focus on the Schumacher years from F1 2010 to 12, and then 13 and 14. Well, 13 in particular, when the segment 2 of that storyline kind of started, because it's turned into a storyline since then. So with that meant that The Walking Dead Season 1 and 2 were done on the Xbox One console, but Season 3 was done on the PlayStation 4. Games like Tales from the Borderlands and Game of Thrones also had a weird kind of thing, where the first 2 episodes of Tales from the Borderlands were done on the Xbox One, and then from episode 3 to the finale of that playthrough, was done on the PS4 with a different capture card. Game of Thrones, same scenario. Episodes 1 to 5 done on the Xbox One, and then episode 6 on the PS4. So you kind of get it. You know, a lot of Telltale's games playthroughs were a mess. The only one that really wasn't was The Wolf Among Us, because I did that primarily on the PS4 until I brainstormed Project PC. So what Project PC basically is a Telltale kind of extravaganza sort of thing, where I bring back all those playthroughs under one platform, one capture card, my choices, and my gameplay, my commentary, my mic, and all that. Basically is to bring them all back on the PC versions of those games, make them my choices with my capture card and my microphone and all that. So basically it's to bring them all back and make it less of a mess, basically. Now, in this project will be all of Telltale's games. So The Walking Dead, obviously the big hit, we have to do that. And the reason I'm doing these on the PC is really because I don't really use my PC for gaming as much as I probably should. It's a gaming PC, you know, it's I haven't got a recording setup on it or anything like that. Primarily it is a gaming PC that I can do other stuff on, and I feel kind of bad that I haven't really played a lot of games on it. So, to get some proper use out of it, I actually decided to play these PC games. And the reason why I'm doing these in particular is because they're simple games to play with keyboard and mouse. So I can actually play them the way they're intended to be played with this mouse and this keyboard here. I can actually do that because, you know, W is to walk, the mouse is to look around, and, you know, it's simple. It's not like something like Rainbow Six Phantoms that I played at some point and I completely sucked because I had to use the left mouse to shoot and all that, and I just didn't have the hand speed to do it. And I've been primarily when I've used my gaming PC for, say, F1 and the Schumacher years, I've used my controller. So The Walking Dead and the point-and-click adventures, for example, are a nice dynamic because I can actually play them on the keyboard and mouse. So I was like, okay, so when we'll do these, we'll do them with the capture card, we'll bring them all back, and we'll actually play them the way they were made to be played on this particular platform. And that's basically it. So yeah, it had you even have the control scheme on here. So The Walking Dead, obviously a massive hit. We're going to do all 4 seasons now that the fourth season is actually continuing, the final season that is. So we're going to do all of those. But you may notice I'm missing one. I'll talk about missing stuff in a minute. The other games in part of it is The Wolf Among Us. I love this game. Now with The Wolf Among Us, obviously, it has that one ending that could be left open to a second season, which unfortunately will never happen now, but it also has an ending that can kind of close the book on it. You know, you can kind of take that as an end and keep it as an end if you want. And that's unlike Game of Thrones, which I'll mention, Game of Thrones won't be part of it because Game of Thrones has this ending that really is the same no matter what you do, and it's so open to another season that will never happen. So Game of Thrones won't even be a playthrough I do because the ending is like with Telltale's closure, we'll never get a sequel that was most obviously planned by the end of the game. Whereas The Wolf Among Us, it kind of has a second ending, which is the lesser picked ending, which can actually constitute as an end of the game. And that's the same with games like Tales from the Borderlands. You know, Tales from the Borderlands has an ending that, in the situation of the sad closure of Telltale Games, Tales from the Borderlands doesn't need a sequel. It has an ending that doesn't necessarily mean a sequel needs to come out if that kind of situation was to happen. So Tales from the Borderlands, a game I absolutely loved, by the way. And with Tales from the Borderlands, it's even more of a mess because with Tales from the Borderlands, not only did I do the first 2 episodes on the the Xbox One, moved to the PS4 by episode 3 and had a different capture card, but on episode 5 with my Overmedia capture card, I forgot to put the game setting higher than the first bar, so the first maybe 4 or 5 videos of the playthrough were quiet from the game's point of view, and you only heard me and didn't really hear what the characters were saying because the game volume was so low. It wasn't absolutely muted, but it was very low and it was very hard to hear because of the volume level. So with that, I'll actually be able to redeem myself with Tales from the Borderlands and bring that back with full volume and all that stuff. So I'll be able to give this game the justice it deserves because this game is brilliant. This is a fantastic game. So, that's the deal with that. Now, games like Jurassic Park and Back to the Future are 2 games I never really covered for YouTube. I never played Jurassic Park. I knew that Telltale did it, but I had no way of doing Jurassic Park the game until now with the PC version. So I'm able to bring that to my YouTube channel for the first time ever. That's actually going to be a first-time experience for me when we eventually get round to doing that. The games you will see are missing are The Walking Dead: A New Frontier, and Batman Season 1 and 2, and Back to the Future, and Minecraft Story Mode. Now with Batman Season 1 and 2, I'm most definitely doing those games because I loved the first season of Batman Telltale. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was brilliant. And Troy Baker, obviously as Batman, was a huge draw to me, but the whole game was just brilliant in how different Bruce Wayne and Batman really were. And it was a great entry point for me into the Batman series because I had very little Batman knowledge up to that point. So Telltale's Batman was a great entry point for me with that series, much like Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead as well. They were there were another two series that I had very little knowledge of, but by the end of the games I played, I actually wanted to watch Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead from the TV series. The same with Batman. Batman Telltale really ignited my like for Batman, and I played Batman Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, and we'll be playing Arkham Knight in the future. So, and Arkham Origins, as you can see as well. So, I loved Telltale's Batman. I absolutely loved it, and I will be definitely doing that and Season 2, but as you know, I haven't purchased it yet. So, with Back to the Future, I did play it a little bit, because I actually did the first episode, but much like Game of Thrones, I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I probably could have because I was very unfamiliar with the source material. With Game of Thrones, I barely watched any of it. I knew about it, but I didn't watch any of the TV series up to the point I played the game, and then I wanted to because the game was so good. With Back to the Future, I only watched maybe I think definitely the first movie and maybe the second movie. I'm not sure, but I didn't really get it wholeheartedly because I didn't really understand the lore of the film series, if you like. And I found Back to the Future Episode 1 to be quite the challenge, actually. It's quite the challenging game. And then The Walking Dead comes out, and it's funny because The Walking Dead comes out, but the story is more of the draw of The Walking Dead rather than the gameplay. So they simplified the gameplay from Back to the Future. They simplified it and made taking the story take center stage with The Walking Dead. So that game was quite necessarily to be made less and make Telltale games less daunting than Back to the Future was. But The Walking Dead actually benefited from that because the story took center stage and it was less strenuous and easy to figure out and how to play. With Minecraft, I will probably do Back to the Future because, again, it is a Telltale game, but as I said, I don't own it yet. And finally, with Minecraft Story Mode. Now, I'm in two minds about Minecraft Story Mode because Season 1 of Minecraft Story Mode, in my view, really ends at Episode 4. I really feel that the ending of Minecraft Story Mode is Episode 4. Now, 5 episodes were originally planned, and that's fine. But it seems to me like episodes 6, 7, and 8 were simply thrown in because of the subject matter. And the subject matter, of course, in the draw of it, is Minecraft. And really because Minecraft is one of the biggest games on the planet still, even today, with Fortnite being out, Minecraft is still one of the hugest games on the planet. And I think the subject matter really helped push that game along. And even though I was kind of interested in the episode with all the Minecraft YouTubers, I never played it. But with Minecraft Story Mode, I had real problems with the first episode in terms of my videos. And what happened there was the commentary was desynced, the game audio was desynced, and everything was crackly and a complete mess to the point where I ended up thinking maybe I should just put the episode 1 choices on the screen and continue from episode 2, but obviously that would have been very disjointing, so I went against that in the end. Minecraft Story Mode, to me, was actually really good. I really enjoyed Minecraft Story Mode for the most part, but I think it has turned into one of those games that the subject matter has literally carried it further than it probably should have gone. I mean, I've asked Tom Lady Games what she thinks of episodes 6 to 8, and she says, well, it really feels more like filler episodes than anything else. Let's think Pokemon, for example. If there's not a gym battle that Ash is approaching, most of the episodes will just be filler episodes to fill up the time before the next gym battle. Minecraft Story Mode kind of feels like that. And I never played Season 2, so I can't really judge on it, but the end of Season 1 feels like it was more of a filler rather than anything else. I might still do it anyway because I really enjoyed it, and I think I can give the first episode its justice now that I don't really have so much problems with my capture card anymore, because all that recording, all that stuff I just showed you, that was actually some of my playthroughs with the HD60 Pro, which ended up becoming defunct by the end of last year, and I had to kind of throw it out and go back to my older setup of an HD60 original. So I think that was kind of like the first signs of it kind of breaking there. So that's pretty much it on a Telltale front for that. So with Game of Thrones, it's a definite no because the season is too open-ended. Tales from the Borderlands is an absolute yes. The Walking Dead, definitely yes. And The Wolf Among Us is a definite yes because we can pick the other ending and close it and not have to worry about a sequel that will never get made, unfortunately. Jurassic Park is yes. Back to the Future and Minecraft Story Mode are the only maybes in Project PC. I might just do them anyway because it makes sense, And Telltale did become one of my favorite companies for story-based games, and you guys know I love my stories and I love how to be thoroughly engaged with the stories that they were telling. So I might just buy them all anyway. But Batman, Back to the Future, and Minecraft Story Mode are all missing because I can't buy them right now because, like I said earlier in the video, I'm saving up for Smash. So I think with that in mind, I was probably going to put Project PC on hold anyway at some point because maybe more for that reason and then something else that I'll explain later in the video. What I was also going to include was Life is Strange Before the Storm and Life is Strange the first game. Basically, these were because I love these games, and because they're very similarly played to Telltale's The Walking Dead, it made absolute sense to put them in and then do Life is Strange 2 also on the PC. Now, none of these games are connected because Life is Strange 2 is completely almost unconnected to Life is Strange aside from maybe Easter eggs and references. Because as you know, Life is Strange became one of my favorite ever games of 2015 and probably ever of all time. And obviously the book, Telltale, Don't Nod announced that the book was closed on the Max and Chloe and Arcadia-based storyline, which was fine because, like I said in my first playthrough of Farewell, I think, I'll mention this now, I think I've let go of Life is Strange the first game. It was very hard to do at the beginning because Pricefield didn't get the happy ending I wanted them to have and other things. And I love the game and the characters so much that, over that time, obviously 2015, 16, 17, obviously there were some sequels that were, while not bad, were very disappointing. Like Gears of War 4 doesn't really need to exist in my opinion. The trilogy did well enough for Gears of War 4 and Halo. They're just pumping it out because it's Halo. It's the same situation between Gears and Halo. They're really bringing them out because they feel like they have to. Halo 5 simply is because the Xbox One exists, and, all that. So, Halo and Gears, they simply have sequels because of the Xbox One. I really kind of felt in the beginning that Life is Strange 2 was kind of probably going to go the same way, because the first game was so popular and so well received by critics and gamers alike. Everyone loved them. Loved it, and the characters and Arcadia Bay and all that. It was so loved universally that Life is Strange 2 was almost an inevitability. And I'm thinking, okay, not only have I lost two of my favorite characters ever and my love for this game, now I've got to deal with a sequel I didn't particularly want. And not because of how it ended, just because, like I said, sequels ended up being really disappointing. So I was worried that Life is Strange 2 was pretty much going to go that way and exist simply because of the popularity of the first game. I've had a few years to think about it since then, and I've come to the realization that, you know what, it is a different story, it is a different locale, it is completely different. Max and Chloe's story is over, aside from the comics that are coming out for it, and I can deal with that now. I've dealt with it, I've accepted it, and I'm ready. I'm ready to go into the new world that Don't Nod has curated, and at the end of the day, and I'll mention this during the playthroughs when we get there eventually, that I think eventually I would have to play it, because I think it would be a disservice to Don't Nod and the series if I didn't give Life is Strange 2 the same chance I gave the first game, and then I ended up loving the first game when I gave it that chance, out of nowhere. So I feel like I have to play the second game to avoid giving them a disservice, and yeah, I'm really excited about that. But as you can see, I don't have it yet because, like I said, I was saving up for Smash. So with that in mind, with my idea to do that, I actually decided that I'll do these as well. I'll bring these back and do them on the PC, the same vein I did with Telltale's games, and then we can play Life is Strange 2 on the PC version. So basically, yeah, the PC will now be used wholeheartedly for story-based games in the future. Say, well, there won't be many now, but not from Telltale anyway. But of course, Twin Mirror is coming out by Don't Nod next year, so I will be definitely looking forward to getting that. And that's what Project PC is. It's to bring all these playthroughs together and make use out of my PC and use it a lot more for gaming because I haven't really done so beforehand. So that's pretty much what Project PC is. I'll probably go over it when we eventually restart it, but obviously, like I said, I'm saving up for Smash Brothers, and obviously Smash Brothers is going to occupy the biggest time of our lives when it comes out in December. That either way, or Project PC would have been put on hold anyway, basically because I didn't have all the pieces, or because I'm playing Smash. So hopefully by about February, I may have all the pieces in place, ready to do the whole PC without really having to stop at whatever point for whatever reason. So with that now put on hold until the foreseeable future, I will still do it. I will bring it back, but it might be a while. I'll talk about more of that in a second. So, with that, what is going to be happening immediately then? Well, obviously, FIFA 19's Coach Pop Era Season 2 is still happening, and that will be coming out in kind of regular intervals as well. There's two things that could be splitting with that, though. One immediate thing I'm going to mention now is something I'm doing, and that's my playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. One of the last Metal Gear games that I have to put back on YouTube, and then hopefully putting back... Hopefully one day we'll bring on Peace Walker and Metal Gear Solid 5 eventually when I get around to doing them. Metal Gear Solid 3 is the only one that's missing because I did a playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty with direct capture. It's on backwards count thanks to the Xbox One, so I feel like I give Metal Gear Solid 3 the same treatment. One thing that I will do with that is going to be a change to the format a little bit, and that will be longer videos. Now, I know only maybe 4 or 5 of you watch my stuff on a regular basis, so I need your guys' input on that. Would you like to see the videos increase to 20 or 30 minutes, or would you like to see it as they are now? I do notice that a lot of YouTubers do make around 20 to 40 minute videos. I can kind of see that, I guess. You know, you get the playthroughs don't go on for much longer than they need to. You know, because at the end of Life is Strange 1, I think the playthrough ended up being 65 parts. That's despite the episodes being like 2 hours each. And that was mostly because I was exploring the place. And Before the Storm, it ended up being 40. Now, I don't think that's really a thing, but maybe 50 minutes is probably a bit too short in this day and age. Now, I'm not doing it because, you know, to place ads on the videos, because as you know, I don't do this as a job. I don't put ads on my videos, so there's no real need to do that. But the majority of YouTubers I do watch, say Vash, The Go From Oz, and maybe Brad and Darkside Phil for another couple of examples, they do rather long videos now. So I think the longer videos is kind of like the thing that YouTubers now do. And I think that makes kind of some sort of sense. So I feel like I want to test the waters with Metal Gear Solid 3, and that will actually help for Project PC in the future as well, and my fighting game footage actually. I think for half-an-hour videos might really be beneficial to my fighting game footage, because then we can get more fights in one video rather than be up and down all over the place depending on time limit. So I think with 30 minutes we could probably get more matches out of it if I do it like 15 minutes, 30 minutes max, but maybe do 5 matches and it only takes like 20 minutes. But, you know, I think up to 30 minutes max might help fighting game footage. So I'll be really testing the waters of that when Smash Brothers comes out. But I'm going to use Metal Gear Solid 3's playthrough to kind of test that a little bit. What I'm going to do for the first video is 20 minutes, and for the second video we'll do 30 minutes. And then I can leave you guys open to suggestions on what I should do. Should I keep it the same, or should I increase one of those to one of those time limits? I think it would make sense to do that. It would probably make the playthroughs shorter so we can get kind of onto other playthroughs quicker if we do more lengthy videos. Basically, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping kind of maybe to get more playthroughs done in a quicker manner, by having them longer, so we can get to the next playthrough a bit quicker than, say, another 65-parter for 2 hours of episodes of Life is Strange. I mean, that was mostly because I was exploring, but like I said, it might help in getting through games quicker in terms of uploading and everything. So let me know. Let me know what you guys think about that when those go up, and we'll see what we can do. Something else that might go up in the meantime, between now and the release of Smash, is a co-op playthrough. Now, myself and Tom Lady Games haven't really done a playthrough as of yet. The only games we have that we could do, especially right now, is Dead Rising 2 off the record, so that's an option. I want to take her through Rainbow Six Vegas and Vegas 2, because I loved Vegas 2, and I think that would be really good. There'd be really good co-op playthroughs for her to do. So off the record, Vegas 2, Resident Evil 6 is another, and I think the big one that we're planning to do at some point will be the entire Halo series. So that's Halo Reach, Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, Halo 4, and Halo 5. So that's the entire series up to now. We'll probably do that last, because that's going to be a huge undertaking, and we've got Smash coming out in about over 2 weeks, so we don't want to start that yet. If we do a playthrough in the meantime, it'll most likely be Vegas 1, because I think that'll be relatively short. I'm not sure. I've never really played Vegas 1 before. So if we do a playthrough in the meantime, just to kind of take us through until Smash, it'll most likely be Vegas 1, because Dead Rising 2 off the record will be quite a long undertaking that we will probably not finish in time unless we really scoot over a bit. And the reason why I say that is because generally when myself and Tom Lady do co-op playthroughs now, we generally record it at the weekends to avoid clashing with Lady Tom Lord's TV watching. I keep calling Lady Tom Lord's Tom Lady Games, but it kind of doesn't interfere with her TV watching so much, because I don't want to do that. But, and obviously she's over here on weekends generally anyway from visiting her mom, so obviously they're moving right now, but yeah, she obviously goes over there, so she's generally here on weekends, and that's when we record, because we've got the stuff to do at that, well, TV to watch at that point. It's a bit weird, I know, but yeah, basically we kind of record on weekends now. That's kind of how we're going to do it. We're going to record footage on weekends, and obviously it'll be uploaded in any due course anyway. So we hope to get stuff done in a weekend timely manner. So if we do anything like in the near future, like now, it'll probably be Vegas 1 for the sake of it might not be so long to get it done, and then we can focus on Smash when that eventually comes out. So like I said, I'll take it through the Vegas series because they're rather fun. I'll take it through like the Halo series because I think that's something we can both do because they're co-op games. And obviously for Resident Evil 6 as well. So yeah, because Tom, I think the longer videos would help for Tom Lady as well because she isn't as active on YouTube as I am. I upload almost every day. Tom Lady hasn't uploaded for like half a year. We kind of have long extended breaks because she generally focuses on co-op games. She doesn't do games by herself because she feels that she'll have to end up asking me for help, and that'll be more my playthrough than hers, and that makes sense, So there'll be a part she struggles at and asks me to help her for it, and that wouldn't really make sense. It wouldn't be her playthrough; it'd be me. So she did do one by herself. I do remember she did one by herself, and that was Lollipop Chainsaw. She did generally pretty good at that game by herself. That's the only game she's really done. So that's why we really focus on co-op games for her. Because then she doesn't have to worry about getting parts, getting stuck on her own and frustrated somewhere. So that's why we kind of generally decided, look, you can do co-op games and we'll do that together rather than something on her own, unless it's Lollipop Chainsaw, which she probably won't be able to do yet because it's on backwards cap, and I don't think it ever will be on backwards cap, unfortunately, because that game is really good. Yeah, so that's how she's generally more active on Mixer and Twitch for her streaming platform. She's more active on there, and I'm sure we'll be definitely both back when Smash Brothers comes out. So yeah, we might get a Vegas 1 in there and see what we can do. But yeah, as you can probably tell if you've been on our channel recently, she's not uploaded for months because we generally just work on on some co-op stuff together rather than her doing her own thing like I do. And it makes sense. So there we go. So there's that. So be on the lookout for that. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can come up with. As far as Smash Brothers is concerned, well, yes, we are really looking forward to that, and we are definitely going to be back on streaming for that because neither of us has streamed in a while either. We've been very inactive on our streaming stuff because basically we haven't really had much new to stream, to be honest. Which really goes hand in hand with what I was saying at the beginning of the video, where I haven't really bought any new games, so there's no real point streaming something that I've already streamed about 10 times, like KI or something. So yeah, we are definitely going to be back in terms of Smash. That is the definite yes. And obviously, with Smash Ultimate for the Switch, there will be a 7 Chaos previews on the day before it comes out, and me and Lady Tom Lady will actually both talk about that. We do have some experience with Smash. We played a lot of Smash 4. I played a bit of Brawl. I played a bit of Melee. But we never played the original game, weirdly enough. We'll talk about more of that when we get there. And obviously there'll be an unboxing video the day we receive, I'll do it, the day we receive our copies of Smash Ultimate, because we are both getting the Ultimate Edition that comes with the GameCube controller and the GameCube adapter. That sent me back £90, but that's going to be the best £90 I've ever spent, because I love that game. And we've got pretty much everything we wanted out of it, except for maybe a couple of characters on my end, like Shadow. But I have Sonic and Ken, so I'm more than happy with what I've been given. I mean, 74 characters, goddammit. There's something in it for everyone. So, yeah, cannot wait for that. But of course, I say about streaming because I think we'll be streaming the majority of it first. Later on, Tom will obviously be streaming it the whole time. You know, she won't be doing really any footage of her own unless she wants to. I doubt she would. But if she does, I guess that'd be cool to look at. But, obviously, I do character medleys with every fighting game for my first online set, but obviously, when you first have the game, you're only going to have the characters that were in the original Smash Brothers, so that's basically 6 to 8 characters or so. So I'm going to unlock everyone first through stream, and then my character medley will start when I've unlocked everybody, because then we can pick almost everybody. I don't know if it'll be 75 videos, but we'll certainly do a big chunk, and obviously we'll get a lot of fights in due to my new timing format for that, so that'll be another good test. That'll be the first good test for that in 30 minutes in fighting games. So that'll be pretty much it for the end of the year. Obviously I might get a game or two depending on what I receive for Christmas through NBA 2K19 I'm looking forward to. Maybe even Black Ops 4, yes, I'm looking to buy that actually at some point. But I'm not spending £60 on it right now. It's totally not worth it. But it is something I'm actually interested in you know, because it's Black Ops. Even though it is only multiplayer related, I do like Blackout a lot, I will be honest. I think it's the best Battle Royale of them all out there. You know, it's right up my alley for Battle Royale, and I actually did okay. I didn't do spectacularly, but I do okay. I do much better than I do in, say, Fortnite. I'm terrible at Fortnite, as you guys know from my Battle Royale madness. So, yeah, most likely it'll be Black Ops 4 or 2K19. We might get something at the end of the year, and we might get those sorted. If it's Black Ops 4, there'll definitely be some video footage. If it's 2K19, it might be mostly stream, depending on what I want to do. And then we go into next year with a lot of stuff coming out already. I know Crackdown 3 is in February. Resident Evil 2 Remake. Yes, yes, and yes. That is a playthrough I am doing right off the bat. I can announce that right now. Oh boy, I cannot wait. Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's just really unfortunate that I don't really get to play the original version. I really want to, but I can't justify getting a PS3 and a Roxio just to play 1 or 2 games. You know, I can't justify that, sadly. Maybe I really regret getting rid of my PS3 after I'd completed the 2006 season of the Michael Schumacher years. I do regret doing that. I should have given Resident Evil 2 a shot as a playthrough, and I didn't, and I really regret that now. Hopefully, maybe one day, the original will come out. I hope so, somehow. It might be a while, but who knows? Fingers crossed. So that leads into February then. I don't really have much to say right now, but what I can say is that this room in the middle of February will be completely different. Basically, my uncle is coming over with a whole bunch of stuff. I'm getting completely new stuff. I'm getting a TV mount, I'm getting another monitor, I'm getting hopefully a couple of hard drives for my PC, and that would really help if I could get a couple, because I've been meaning to get a couple of PC hard drives for ages, you know, to kind of differentiate my videos and my games on separate hard drives, so I don't really have to worry about one getting clogged up with an overabundance of videos. But I've not had the money, as you well know. So yeah, that would be really helpful if I could have a hard drive or two. I'm fingers crossed, you know, I'm hoping for that. But yeah, this whole room is going to be completely different. As apparent, the new table actually that he's got for me is actually already here. He posted it up here the other day, and that's actually already here in the bedroom, sitting, waiting to be done when he gets that in February, because I'm not building it. I'm not building that shit. I'm leaving that to him. But he told me to do that anyway, so that was kind of the point. But yeah, that's already here. I'm hoping to get a new chair. I got a new table coming in. I'm gonna get the TV and monitors mounted, and yeah, it's gonna be completely insane. I don't even know what it's gonna look like, so I'm really excited. And the day that's done, I will certainly take you around with this webcam, and I will take you around what the room looks like at that point. And I'm very excited. And if I do get hard drives for it, that will definitely help in terms of like Project PC restarting and everything, because it'll be like I'll be able to do it under a new setup. I can get comfortable with it. So maybe Project PC will restart in maybe March when I'm a bit more comfortable with the setup. We'll see what it looks like and what I can do. But obviously, if we're gonna do this Project PC thing, we're gonna do it right. We're gonna get like all this proper kit and stuff, and it's gonna be really darn cool. So that's not the reason for the delaying of Project PC. Like I said, I don't think I would have got it done in a manner anyway. But obviously, it can be a good thing for testing my new video format, for one, with the 30-minute, 20-minute or 30-minute videos, and can also help if I do get those hard drives. That would be very helpful in, you know, splitting the games and the videos into separate ones. So that would really be helpful. So fingers crossed that all works out. Can't wait to see it. I'm really freaking excited. I'm taking it as like the best birthday present ever, because by the time you get to it, it'll be near enough my birthday. So a big 30 celebration for my birthday. God, I'm 30. You know, so it's going to be a big 30th like birthday celebration with a whole new setup for this room. I cannot wait, dude. I'm like so excited right now. So yeah, all right then. So I think I'll leave the video there because we've always gone for 45 minutes. So Project PCB is postponed until that point. Metal Gear Solid 3 will start relatively soon alongside FIFA 19 career mode. Myself and Tom Lady might throw in a co-op playthrough in the meantime. Smash coming out in December, and then we've got so be on the lookout for streams and videos of that. And then we've got Resident Evil 2 remake next year, and then the big changes in February. So that's pretty much it. So sorry for making this video long again. I did try to keep it short, but obviously failed miserably again, as I do. Yeah, I will see you for the start of Metal Gear Solid 3 and all this other stuff as well. So you guys know what to do. Follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will see you in the next video. Peace out, take care, and stay awesome as always.